Because see, that's one of the things, that's how you get customers, is by telling stories. Right? So if I put a 7-day trial pack in someone's hands and I come back to them and I say, hey, tell me your story, and they say to me, I don't have a story, nothing happened. Really? Can I tell you mine? Can I tell you what it did for me? See, I don't tell them up front, I'm not going to tell you what this does for you. I want you to discover it. Because if I tell you, then you're going to come in defensive. You're going to come in and say, nah, it's not going to work for me. Because isn't that the attitude that we have a lot of times in this negative world that we live in? That it may work for you, but not for me? Yep. Right? I mean, when I approach someone about the business, that's one of the things they got to overcome, is they're going to say, it may work for you, but it's not going to work for me. I'll say, you need to meet my really good friend, Amy Seaver. She's in our wedding. She's an awesome lady. She is the rock star of network marketing. You got to know this woman. And they'll say, it works for her, but not for me. So when you're approaching someone, trying to find a way to get customers, trying to get 100 customers, Mark Davenport, I think, has 400 and something customers
On AutoShip.
on AutoShip. That is brilliant. You know how much money that is? That's a lot of money. Right? There's money to be made by getting customers, but what we're not doing is we're not going out trying to sell products. And I think that's one of the problems that we have, is that I feel like I've got to get you to do something that you don't want to do. I got to sell you something that you don't want. You've heard the phrase that's used quite a bit here, is that facts tell, stories sell. Collect stories. This is brilliant. I mean, my dad fell and broke his hip the day after I signed up in Kioni. It was the day after. So I woke up the next morning at 4 o'clock with my dad on the phone saying, literally, he said, help, I've fallen and I can't get up. So I knew he was serious, and curious, and paying. I ran over to his house and brought my phone with me, and we spent the next about 3 or 4 weeks in the hospital doing hip surgeries and all kinds of stuff trying to get him better. And one of the complications of the surgery and all the trauma that he went through was that he started developing early onset dementia. And I was watching my dad, I started watching my dad deteriorate right in front of my eyes. I went over to his house one time. He's not here, so I can tell the story. I went over to his house one day after he got released from the hospital, and he was walking around, and he was doing the Winnie the Pooh thing, you know, t-shirt, nothing on. And my dad, you know, you got to at least wear underwear, right? I mean, my 6-year-old, I have to tell my 6-year-old that. And so here's my dad. I'm watching him deteriorate, and I'm just watching his mind slip. I had to take his dog away from him. I had to take his car away from him, which was hard on him. It was hard on me, because now I'm his primary care provider. So if he needs to go to the grocery store or the doctor's appointment, whatever, that means it's on me. It was a hard thing to do, watching him, because that was taking away his freedom. And I was watching him, and I was just watching how hard that was. The day before he broke his hip, I signed up with this company called Kioni. And they have these amazing products. And my dad was in the hospital, and I told him, I said, Dad, you're going to take these products that I have. This is non-negotiable. It's going to happen. So he gets home. He's deteriorating. I'm watching this going. He started recovering. In December, I had to give him his car back. The question I have for you is, who do you know that needs a miracle in their life? Is the business overshadowing the ability that we have to help people? Now, while we're helping people, we're helping ourselves, we're helping our team. That's the beauty of what we're doing here, is that it's okay to be a little bit selfish. Because when I'm selfish, that means that I want good things for me. It's not okay for me to be stingy, which means I only want it for me and I don't want it for you. And I think sometimes we may be stingy with our product, because these sit on my shelf instead of me putting them in people's hands. Say, can I have your story? I want your story. Because see, I can tell my story, I can tell my dad's story, I've touched your hearts. I see people tearing up with me today, and I appreciate that. But the reality is when it's your story, you understand the value of what we have here.